What are you doing, man?
It's like buffering.
Oh, it's buffering? Yeah, okay. Good day. Welcome to Friday. How's everybody doing? Okay, I'm just going to tell you, it's been one of those weeks, guys. And I'm sure all you can feel the same way. It's just been one of those weeks. It's Friday. This is the first day we've gone live all week. And it's funny because, like, you think back to Monday, we had Chris Vera here on the show.
Yeah.
It seems like it was a month ago. Legit, to me, it feels like it was a month ago. I mean, we had him, we had Eduardo came by, like, on Wednesday.
Yeah.
And it's already Thursday. It has just been, like, this. I was on a cruise a week ago. I was on a boat. I was on a boat eating tiki masala.
Tiki masala.
Chicken tiki masala. Oh, chicken tiki masala is so good. So good. Anyways, but here we are. It's just been a really weird week for us. But we're here, and I just said, oh my God, we haven't busy. No, actually, that's the funny part is we really haven't been that busy, but we've been busy. You know what I mean? Like nothing great, but not like
doing this, that.
Yeah, it's been weird. It's just been a screwed up week. Yesterday was really screwed up. So either way, but we're here now. We have a car. We're getting ready to pull it out, and I figured I would show it to you. And we are here, and we are here. And here we are. What's up, Flynn? Okay, so let's take a look at this real quick. We just finished this up. This is just a radio swap in a Toyota Sienna minivan. Any new amps come in? No, not that I'm aware of. Needed a vacate after a vacate? Dude, cruises are not vacations, man. Especially with Haley. Cruises with Haley are just like an Olympic sport. How much crap can you do in 3 days? Like there was one point I just passed out on a random couch on the boat, and
Really?
people were like walking by. Oh yeah, like people walking by. I says, I think that guy might be dead. Oh, it's my dad. So check this out. This is the Sienna, and they went with the Kenwood
1057 XR.
Yeah, good call. Really nice thing is like the kit is this shiny black, which is cool, double din. It does have to be up high because of the way the gear shifter is. Turn it on. Let's see what she looks like. But, I mean, it looks fantastic. In the screen, they're going to have to do something about their little bird there because that's going to tap the screen. But, of course, you can angle this really nice. It looks very, like, modern Toyota, so to speak. But there you go. You have this nice big screen in the dash. Looks good. All kinds of funness. Yep, car's got a roll. You got your doors opening there. Reverse camera will work, or we can just come into here and we can pick that guy. And there we go. There's our reverse camera now, up all the time. So we can just see that whenever we want.
I never understand what is this.
That is the default image for no reception.
For no reception?
Yeah, there's nothing happening. So that's just the default image that they have in the case.
Oh, I thought it was like, aluminum foil.
Hey Dean, I have a front door speaker in my 2013 Infiniti M37 with Bose system and easy solution or new amp and speaker. So listen, when it comes to stuff like that, if all we have is one bad speaker and we don't want to go crazy on the budget, we're actually going to try to find that factory speaker, whether from the dealer or somewhere else, because like that vehicle, an M37, sure, we could probably find that speaker for maybe $200, $250. If you're not willing to spend another $4,000 or $5,000, then you really should just spend the $250 to get the speaker replaced. That's always those conversations we try to, if that's all we have is one bad speaker, we like the way it sounds, we're looking to fix the problem, then we just find the factory speaker and replace it with the factory speaker. That's it. That's all we do. It makes the most sense in a lot of those cases. Now, if we're like, hey, I blew the speaker, but I'm ready to update my stereo. Show me your DSP amps and let me go crazy. Well, then there you go. That makes total sense, in which case we'll have that conversation where it's like, okay, here's this thousands of dollar system that we're really going to make this M37 rock out. Okay, so that's always one of those questions that we have to find the best answers for. My speaker's going in and out. Yeah, so now if the amplifier is bad, there's solutions for that too. There are companies that will remanufacture the amplifiers and or have remanufactured amplifiers. What brand is that floating? This is a Kenwood 1057 XR Exelon radio. Right there. Looking, Fernando's back there getting a picture of it. That's a waterfall to remind you to relax on the screen. I mean, yeah, right? Sure. Right, Josh. Josh be chillin'. You know who Josh be chillin' is?
No, who is?
Josh.
Oh, man. Okay.
Kenwood Josh.
Yes.
Yeah. Josh be chillin'.
Why Josh be chillin'?
It's because he's Powerbase has nice cheap OEM line. They do, but there again, when it's a Bose speaker, we don't necessarily always have a solution for that. Powerbase might offer a OEM factory fit for that. It's just going to depend. It's just really going to depend. A lot of the times, those particular vehicles, they don't. So, but yes, no, Powerbase, that's a great option. Good idea. You could go to their website and see if they offer in their... I'm sorry, I had to open this. If they offer anything for like a Nissan style. Love Powerbase 3XL. I like Powerbase too. Still have the speaker sitting over there. I hope you guys caught the Bluetooth speaker review we did this week. Unboxing, talked about, had a good time with. It's always pretty cool. I've been wanting, since we made the video, of course, I've been wanting to do more stuff with it, which is always the case, right? You get done with something and you're like, oh man, I want to do this. Oh man, I want to do that. And then you didn't, and so you're just kind of bummed. But I get to do it, but I don't get to share it with you. What was Eduardo doing up there the other day? Eduardo has a vendor for the marine stuff that he does that's up in this area. So they just opened, or they just moved.
They just moved.
And so he was here checking it out and getting some products from them that he needed. So it was pretty cool. How much to do a custom install in a Mustang? Well, it's kind of a really generic question because there's a lot of things you can do in a Mustang. It has a 3-way set of speakers. You can replace the radio. You can integrate with the radio. How many subs do you want to add? Is it a convertible, non-convertible? It is one of the more expensive basic upgrades, only because you have to, if you're going to replace the speakers and it has a 3-way set, that automatically puts you in, you need a 3-way set, which is not a 2-way set, it's more money. But it legit just depends. I mean, you could spend anywhere from probably $3,500 to $10,000 depending on what you want to do. You know, it all just depends. Are there significant differences between Maestro RR and RR2? Yes, there are significant differences. Do those differences matter to you? Let's find out. The RR and the RR2, for those of you guys who don't know what they are the iData interfaces that allow us to go into this radio and do... Can you show me the... what are you doing? What is that?
I'm just trying to...
Why don't you just do that? That sounds good. That's my favorite. Go back to here for a second. Go here. Actually. Doop-de-doo. So it allows you to get this screen here. It allows you to work with your air conditioner if it needs to. It gives you parking assistance screen. It gives you one more gauge cluster. So this is all the stuff that iData does, along with go here, setup, and go to system, and then go to OEM setup, and then you can go to vehicle features, and you can go to vehicle amplifier, and you can adjust things from the amplifier. You can go to vehicle settings. It's going to wait to communicate, and then it's going to come up with all the things that we can adjust that were in the factory radio that we can adjust. We're just going to cancel it because we don't want to wait for it to do that. So those are all things that can be done with iData. Now, back to the question.
So no, but why I don't have this?
Climate control, because the climate control in this, it has a functioning climate control panel. If this was a Ford, those would be highlighted and we could control from there. If it was a Nissan or something, some Toyotas, some cars have it. If the air conditioning system reports to the radio for any display, then it would be highlighted and it would work. This isn't doing that, so they've disengaged that feature and you cannot re-engage it. Okay, so that's what the RR does. The RR also is a flashed piece, meaning when you grab it, you buy it, it's dead, you plug it into the laptop, you make an account, you type in make, model, year of the car, you type in the radio, you type in the model number of the radio, you type in the serial number of the radio, and all those things have to be on that brain. Therefore, it gets updated with the most latest firmware that is available at time of flash right when you do it. So you don't have to worry about one that's been sitting on the shelf for 6 months and they've like had 10 fixes and you put it in and it doesn't work because it's going to have the most current software available to it already as soon as you put it in the car. Now, that is the basics of an RR. What an RR2 adds is 3 MPOs or Maestro programmable outputs. So when integrated with a Kenwood radio, you can activate switches on the screen that you can program to turn things on and off. So like if you wanted to turn on LED lighting or you wanted to turn on some form of an external thing, like you wanted to solder under a garage door opener, you could add these things using those. They're basically 3 switches that you can program to do things with. I won't say whatever, but a lot of things with, okay? They can be latched, they can be momentary.
Optional, yeah.
You can have them turn on fog lights if you have fog lights, so there are options that you can do. The second thing is there's a Bluetooth chip built into the RR2 that you can pair to your phone for. And the reason why that is there is you can wire it all up, put it into the car, pair to it, and do the programming flash, the initial programming flash, from your phone, not having to go to the laptop. So if you're in the field or whatever, where you might not have access to a laptop, but you have your cell phone, you could program it that way for startup. You can also do any software updates to it over your phone to it. You're never gonna do that because there's very rarely ever any updates. They usually get it right the first time. But it's available to do that. So those are the 2 major differences. Now, the other thing that is an RR2 has is it has 2 CAN bus readers, programmers inside of it. And the reason why it has that is some vehicles, and it'll tell you, there's a couple, I think there's like a Volkswagen, some Hyundais or Kias or something like that, that have dual data bus traces built into the radio. So you have one data bus that is controlling like accessory, lights, speed sense, and you have a second one that is controlling the steering wheel controls. So the RR2 has those in there. So on some installations, you'll go to pick up the piece and you'll find out that, oh no, I have to use an RR2. And that would be why you have to use the RR2, because it has the 2 data readers in it instead of just the 1. So those are the 3 big differences. And I hope that answers your question. All right. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going to happen to them after the buyout. What are we talking about? Did you ever look at the one audio FI-SQ? No, it's still on my desktop, but Opinions on Illusion Audio Electroline doesn't exist anymore. Illusion Audio is gone. So like I have my pair over here. They were fantastic speakers. It was just failure for production. The production just killed it, but no, the brand doesn't exist anymore. I mean, if you can get your hands on some, great. They were fantastic. So I was a big fan, but it was an illusion. Hey guys, I'm doing a simple upgrade in my 2022 Kia Sorento. Rockford Punch passive components in the front, a coaxial in the back, using a key 200.4 for power, and I bought a key lock. My mounting area is a bit tight, and the question is, am I good with just one key lock for the front and then wire into the 204 the rear from the stock head unit? They are mainly fill anyways, so I would still think. Okay, so rear speaker questions. That's basically what this is. So here's the deal. You're going to use your key for front and rear, which makes perfect sense. The one thing that you have to figure out before anything is what is actually coming through the rear speakers other than audio. What I mean by that is, do you have backup sensors? And if so, do they report through the rear speakers? Do you have lane departure that reports through the rear speakers? What is coming through the rear speakers other than just music? If there is nothing coming from the rear speakers other than music, just use the fronts into the rear. So when you're just come out of the fronts into the key lock, out of the key lock, into the front 2 channels on the 200.4 key and switch it to 2-channel input, okay? You can use then the gain control to balance front to rear, okay, and be done with it. That would give you the best. That way, if there is anything weird happening to the rear, such as a delay or anything like that, it won't be affected by it. It'll essentially do the surround sound that you're hoping for automatically when the key sets up. The only other reason why you'd keep the rear in is if you're a balance and fader kind of guy, where like I like to fade it to the front sometime, in which case I wouldn't even put the key on the rear. I would just leave the factory radio powering those and just do everything up front, meaning I would just key lock out of the front, go into the 200.4, out of the 200.4 into the tweeters on channels 1 and 2, and the mid bass on 3 and 4. That to me makes more sense out of any of this that you've offered.
So that's Jay Money? That's his question?
Yes.
Okay, so the second part.
I got the second part.
You got the second part?
I read the second part. Yep.
Okay.
So to me, the better move would be to just use the key lock on the front, use the 200.4 on the front, and just let the factory run the rear speaker coaxials that you're putting in and not worry about it. It'll do that. It's all on the dip switches. That would be fantastic, and you would be so happy. Elias is doing great today. Have fader control? No, or should I do one? Okay, so I think that answers that other part of the question. So have a great weekend, guys. Don't work too hard. You too, Flynn. What's a good cheap DSP? So there's actually quite a few out there right now. So I'm not just going to be like, go with this one. So when you say good and cheap, those are two words that don't necessarily go hand in hand with one another, because I don't know what cheap is. Cheap to you could be $150. The Rockford DSR1 is still an amazing DSP for the money. We also have the Power Bass 8. So the Power Bass is a little bit more versatile than that is an 8-in, 8-out. This guy, which is the PBX DSP 8. Okay, that's extremely reasonable. It's probably the cheapest 8-in, 8-out that I've seen so far. Now, there again, if you're like, well, your version of cheap is more than that, then the Arc Audio PSM Pro would be a fantastic. That's a 6-in, 8-out with the DNA software. So there again, it just depends on what you mean by cheap. So one of those three, though, would probably fit the bill. What are you looking for when upgrading factory speakers? Me, I'm not really looking for anything, but what I do is try to have you answer a few questions as far as like what you're looking for. Most people that I've come to believe would like tweeters that sound better, because a lot of the times cars don't even have tweeters, or the tweeters they have suck.
I've got tweeters.
I know, and they suck. So that is the first thing. And then, of course, finding out what tweeters you like is another good question, which starts usually with, like, what do you have for a home stereo, which always get answers with, I have a really nice sound bar. And I go, okay, great.
Sound bar is good.
Yeah, whatever. Sound bar, yay. So there's two different types of tweeters in the world. You have silk soft domes and you have hard domes. Hard domes are what pretty much a lot of people love. I'm more of a soft dome fan myself. They're both very loud. It's just how intense do you want that tweeter to be. If you're looking for something a little bit more subdued, because you drive a lot, a little more natural sounding, that's going to be silk soft dome. If you're looking for something a little bit more intense, a little more vivid, then that's going to be your hard dome. He likes vivid. I like soft, subdued, mellow. They're both, loudness-wise, are the same. There's no difference in loudness. So I usually start there and then work my way down. And, you know, a really good silk soft dome that you could choose from is
Morel. Morel is a really nice tweeter. They have multiple tweeters, but one of the good ones is the 450. I think.
Yeah.
MT 450.
Yeah.
It's a small. You can fit it like almost in any application, and it's wonderful. Where you can find that tweeter is in morelhifi.com. Morelhifi.com. That's the place that you can find that.
And it is one of the few high-end tweeters that you can buy a la carte in a box, all set and ready to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very nice.
You can check some pictures here on Instagram and Morel_America.
Very good. Very good, Fernando. What are you looking for? Okay, got that one. Sorry, my bad. What's up, Haley? Say hi, Haley.
Hi, Haley.
All right, here we go. Calvin says, why are some amps bridgeable and some aren't? I'm guessing bridgeable is best. New to car stereo stuff, thanks. No, it's actually not. So there are a couple amplifiers out there that, mainly all the Helix stuff, anything from, well, not all the Helix stuff, but a lot of the Helix stuff. The M series you can bridge, but pretty much everything else is non-bridgeable. And the reason why is because it's actually already pre-bridged. So the amplifier is already giving you its maximum power at those ratings. You can usually run them at 4 ohm stereo, meaning on each channel you put a 4 ohm load or a 2 ohm load. You're going to get the powers, as it were, out of it. Mono amplifiers are not bridgeable because they're mono, meaning they only have one channel. So a lot of your sub amplifiers will not say bridgeable because even though they'll have 4 terminals on them, because it's already one channel. It's a sub amp, so it's mono. It doesn't have 2 channels. That's really the only time you run into that. The other time you run into that is if you have a very small amplifier that's using an IC power chip, which is essentially what comes in a radio. Those amplifiers typically aren't bridgeable either. Those are going to be like 25 by 4 or 25 by 2, and you can't bridge them because they're not real amplifiers in the sense that they're a true amp, so they're not designed to be bridged. But there again, it's neither good nor bad. I don't really consider that a downfall to it. It really just comes down to system planning as far as what you're planning on doing and whether or not channels need to be bridged. So, for example, this morning on the news, we had the new the Match Up 6, which is a 6-channel amplifier, and it's 60 watts by 4 and 160 by 2. So it has 6 channels and it has staggered power. So it's non-bridgeable because it's 5 inches by 5 inches, but what they've done is they give you 2 high power channels and 4 lower power channels, so that if you are going to be driving something like, say, tweeters in the dash, mid-range, and mid-bass, or tweeters, mid-bass, and rear speakers, you have that staggered power that you would want if you're looking to bridge something. Another amplifier on the flip side of that is something like this guy here, which is a 2-channel version. This is the Moscone 430, and this is a 4-channel amplifier. Now you can bridge this, but you never would because channels 1 and 2, they're again less power, but it's an a high bias AAB class front 2 channels, followed up by an AB class more powerful rear 2 channels. Now if you're going, I don't know what you're talking about. The tweeter channels are the best sounding 2 tweeter channels you can have. They're the cleanest representation of power, and then the other 2 channels should be for your mids. They're again more powerful to drive the bigger speaker and are still an AB class to get that nice warm sound that you're looking for. And of course then you have the 830, which is an 8-channel version of this sort of, but with a DSP built into it. And it has staggered power also, where it means 4 of the channels are half the power of the other 4 of the 8 channels. So it really just depends on what you're trying to do. I don't really think there's any right, wrong, or bad. That's just like a mono amp. Some mono amps are capable of only doing 2 ohm mono. Some amplifiers will do 1 ohm mono. It really just comes down to what subs you're running. Some amplifiers will do 1 ohm and 2 ohm, but they'll still only put out, let's say, 1,000 watts, and it won't change. They call that like DC straight. Those are nice because the reality is they don't actually put out 1,000 watts at both of them. There is going to be a slight power variance, but it's so close that it doesn't matter. So it matters, but it doesn't really matter. It's just a matter of getting the right combination of products. What kinds of tweeters did MB Quartz use in the 90s? Those were metal tweeters. So those are hard dome metal tweeters. That's going to be like your Focal tweeter. And yeah. That's why I didn't like them.
Really?
Yeah, could not stand them. Oh my God. I've always hated hard dome tweeters. Fernando loves them, and they do. Most people love them. I'm an oddball, and I also wear weird shoes, so it's okay. It's okay.
Your friend this morning, he doesn't like them.
He doesn't like them?
No, that's what he wanted, the Morels. Remember?
Oh no, he needed Morels.
Yeah.
Yeah, he needed Morels so bad. You know, but he also wanted Macintosh car amps, and I'm like, slow it down, killer. Do you guys ever use line drivers like the Matrix? No. And not because of like, oh, no, nothing like that. It's just most of the products that we're using, like most of the DSP amps, they don't need them. There's line drivers built into them. Or the radios have 5 volts. Sorry about that. Anyways, so no, we typically don't have a need for those. Okay, so the Matrix is a phenomenal piece. For those of you guys who are curious what it is, it's a 6-channel line driver. And it's a Matrix is kind of like the magical afterthought. So you've bought your stuff and you didn't buy the radio that has 4-volt output or 5-volt output. You bought an amplifier and it's not like the best, and you spent all this money and you already have this stuff and you're like, what do I do? How do I? That's where like the line driver comes in. The better move would be just to buy a DSP, but you might not be in that point in your life where you want to do that. But the Matrix you can put that in and you could solve a lot of those issues where it's just not enough voltage. You're getting floor noise because you're having to turn the gain up on the amp, and the gain isn't a real good quality amplifier. So you can put that Matrix in there for a reasonable amount of money and just make everything work the way it was supposed to if you had bought better equipment. So that's one application. There's other applications, but that is one really good application for the Matrix. So we try to design systems from the start to where that's not something we need to do. What are your preferences? What are your preferences? Yeah, preferences. Head unit for audio quality when a DSP I want to be won't be an option. All right, there we go. Won't be an option. There's 2 radios. There's 3 radios right now. 4 radios right now that are our go-to radios. The first radio is a Kenwood 9 series, either a 908, 958. I think there's another 9 series too. Those are really nice if you're looking for a double din. Sony now has the
9500 and
no, that's the double din.
85.
No, Sony has one now too. That's basically a double din version of the 9500 floating screen, but that takes us to the 9500, which is a fantastic double din radio. The 1057 that we have in here though is probably my favorite solution if I'm not doing DSP, and I will show you why. It has the time alignment. It has a lot of the cool features that you're looking for in a basic DSP. The main thing why a lot of these radios aren't fantastic is they don't have left and right EQ. The Sony does, but so does this one. It's just in a hidden menu that most people don't realize. So check this out. If you go here and you go into this and you tap audio and you go to sound effects where it says parametric EQ default is off. If you turn this on, you say yes, then you go into setup. Now you have this page, which is the parametric EQ, along with a bunch of other things. So you have common channels, which there's 9 common channels. There's 2 front channels, there's 2 more rear channels, and then there's 1 sub channel along with the 9 common channels. So now there's 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 parametric bands. Along with those bands can also be a high pass, a high shelf, a peaking, which is normal, low shelf, or a low pass. You can adjust the Q, so it has full parametric capability. You can stack them on top of one another. You can make 3 user presets. So you can tell it whether you want it to affect all. So like if you're on front and you only want it to affect the front, you can come over here and say affect all speakers off, and it'll just adjust the front band. You can hit the rear, do the same thing, and then when you're in common, it'll adjust everything. And you also still have the 13 band EQ on top of it, so you get dual equalization capabilities, like tons of equalization. So it makes it really cool to adjust these radios. It gives you a lot of tools to get in there and really, make the sound do it. Yeah. So, that's really neat thing. Along with a lot of the other neat things that they have. If you've never seen them before, go back. So sound effects page is one of my favorite pages in this. because I feel it separates the men from the boys. You have bass boost here. This is basically Kenwood's version of an epicenter. It works really well. You have loudness, which I love. We all know we talk about loudness all the time, so it's low or high loudness. Drive EQ, comes off, leave it off forever. Supreme, this is the Kenwood sound. Just leave it on. It does magical things. Realizer is for crappy recordings like Pandora and stuff like that. You can kind of help Pandora. But then you have Space Enhancer and Stage EQ. Stage EQ, low, mid, highs. This is a high range boost. So this will take and boost the tweeters or the treble frequencies, which makes, because the tweeters are typically up high, it raises the sound stage. And then Space Enhancer is a mid-range boost, because mid-range are typically down here. It does an effect that widens out the car. And so those are two really simple buttons you can press without having to get into like the DSP side of things. It does have the time limit and all that fun stuff. But those are really quick, fast ways to just like hit stuff if you don't know what you're doing and be like, oh crap, that sounds good. Sometimes people get a little stupid with it and they'll just put everything on high and you'll be like, you've missed the point. Don't do that. But
Missed the point.
Got it. Appreciate you guys. No problem. Do Kicker have good component speakers? So Kicker has a nice middle of the road line called the KS, right?
Middle
of the line. Yeah.
Okay.
So their KS is like their go-to brand. They used to have Q Class, KS, and CS. The Q Class, I think they still have some of them, but it was never a wide line. It was only like a 6.5 coaxial, 6.5 component, which are fantastic. I mean, they're fantastic speakers. They're just not very popular, and they had a 6x9 coaxial. So that was it for the whole line. They are great speakers. I own 2 sets of them, I think.
Yeah.
We have a set in the box up front that we did the whole Kicker training with. They're amazing. They have big passive crossovers though, and they're not like super friendly for installation. Whereas the KS is the most friendliest installable speaker that I've ever met. It just fits in everything, and they sound way better than they look. Meaning, you look at them and you go, "There's no way," and then you hear them and you go, "Holy, that's freaking amazing!" And they really are. It's a fabulous speaker, reasonable price point. It feels like I'm talking them up, but they impress me every time I do them, so they deserve it. Nothing. He's worse than you. At least he says what. I'm a turd.
Hi.
Hey. Hi. Hey. It's 5 times 10.
Equals
What?
50.
You sure? You sure?
Supposed to be 5.
That's 5 times 11, you goof. You were right. What the heck? I'm trying to get him to get these math problems all week. It's driving me nuts. Kenwood radio versus Sony radio. I don't know. I mean,
Which one?
Kenwood versus Sony.
Which one? What radio?
Oh, the 95 versus the 580 or 10. I don't. Yeah.
I think Kenwood.
The look?
For the look.
Oh, Fernando likes the look of the Kenwood better than the Sony.
For the audio,
But
I
it-
think Sony.
But the Sony has the big DAC in it that he's all excited about, so he has the 9500 for his car. At this rate, the other radio that I didn't mention in all of that was the JVC KWZ 1000W, that guy, which is the exact same radio as the 1057 XR with minus the volume knob. Just kind of, yeah, I kind of dug that better. And it has the JVC operating system, which I like because it has VU meters in the screen, like the old school VUs. Oh, so sexy. So sexy. Thanks for your input. Gonna do front stage bi-amp and leave the rears on factory power. Hope you both have a great weekend. I hope you have a wonderful weekend and it turns out fabulous. Happy Friday. Have you ever put in any JP D4S amps in any vehicles? So, the answer to that question is yes and no. Okay, so we have some customers that we've done a ton of work for over the years, and we've helped them design systems, but they're DIY guys. They love to do this stuff themselves. They had a Mustang, and they integrated it with the DSR-1 because the DSR-1 will integrate with the factory Mustang radio flawlessly, retains all the fun stuff. They put in the JP 7-channel amplifier, I think it is. The big sucker. Thing was gigantic. They put that in there, and we had to tune it for them. So we didn't actually install it, but we did get to play with it a little bit, reset the gains, do all that fun stuff. Massive amplifier, just gigantic. So that's cool. And they had a blue version of it, which was nice because I like blue. So there you go. I like the volume knob and the swipe feature. Yeah, the thingy on the radio, you can just do this with your fingers, really cool. I didn't even know it could do that. Fernando had to show me because at his old shop they installed JVC, whereas we didn't install much JVC here, so I didn't even know about it. He's like, dude, watch this. And I was like, oh my God. Like, it was pretty cool. So I like cool stuff. But who's happy that it's Friday, right? Isn't that nice? I'm trying to think. So we're going to do a video next week. One of you guys asked about loudness and key, because we put the key video up where we showed you what the key is doing and how it makes all its decisions. I hope you like that. And somebody asked, how does the key work with loudness? And so we're like, great question. Glad you asked. That's like the type of questions I like because I can turn those into videos to show you guys. So what we're going to do is we have a... Man, you just saw the crash, right? No. So I have an LC2i Pro, brand new, right here, LC2i Pro, and we have a brand new key lock. And what we're going to do is we're going to show you how the two of them deal with the signal, specifically looking at loudness, meaning we want to see we want to see what happens, show you what happens and how loudness affects it and how the key lock deals with it, how you can deal with it with the LC2i and all the other things that are involved in it. I was talking with some guys this week and they were like, you know, everyone just can, because it's an LOC, line output converter, but the key lock is just so much more than an LOC. It is like, it's a DSP. But, you know, but everyone always asks compared to these, and they both have their place in the world. I just want to demonstrate those to you. So we're going to hopefully get that video out next week for you guys to see. And of course, we're going to get, he just got his windshield replaced.
Yes.
So he's got a new crack-free windshield. Going to put the ThinkWare dash cam in. So pretty excited about that.
Very excited.
So excited.
Gonna catch some people doing bad things.
Probably just you.
Yes.
Scenario: you own a 2016 Tundra and want a studio quality sound. What are you installing? Head unit, speakers, and everything in between. Well, fortunately for you, we do a ton of Tundras.
What will be the first thing you do in the Tundra?
Put a new radio in it. So that's the question you have to ask yourself. Do you want a floating screen or you want one built in? For some reason, most of the people with Tundras always want to go with the screen in the dash, not a floating screen. So I'm probably going to do a Kenwood 1058.
Okay.
Okay, right off the bat, Kenwood 1058. Now, the next question I'd have to find out, is it the JBL system or the non-JBL system? Because if it's a JBL system, it's going to have a three-way set. Now, you could just go simply buy the sail panels for the JBL and put the three-way set in which case I'll be looking at either a set of flats or a set of K2s. Now, if I have the money, like you're saying, I want to do, you know, that, I'll be looking at the K2s because I want to give it the biggest fighting chance I possibly can.
K2s.
Yeah, Focal K2s. Whatever. Anyways, yeah, three-way set. So I would go order the sail panels so I could put the tweeters in the sail panels, the mid-range in the dash, mid-bass in the bottom of the door, making custom panels for all of them because we're cool like that. The next thing is now I'm going to need some power.
Yes.
So I'm going to head over and look at my Moscone power choices. I could easily do...
The 830?
Well, I could easily do this, which is an 8 to 10. However, I'm really looking at the 830, which is this guy here, which is going to power everything. I'm also going to get the matching K2 6.5-inch coaxials for the rear door. I'm going to use this to power everything. I'm going to put channels 1 and 2 on the tweeters. 3 and 4 are going to go on my rear doors. 5 and 6 is going to go on my mid bass, my mid range, and 7 and 8 is going to go on my mid bass. Those are the staggered power configurations on that. So that is going to power all of those. And then I'm going to put this guy here, which is the 110D, on my subs. I'm going to put 212s behind the seat.
Yes, sir.
And that's basically it, I think, right?
Beautiful.
Sound treat the hell out of it.
100%.
Call it a day.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you'd like us to do that, it'd be like, it's probably
I don't know.
like 15 grand. But
Who
you asked,
cares?
like
Who
between
cares?
15 and 20 grand, I think
It's
is
gonna
where
be
you
nice.
just hit those numbers at. What's the color? All right, that's the color I went with when I got my JP84. Nice. Do it leak though. Ooh, yeah. Non-JBL. So I would still go buy the sail panels. I would still, now, if you want to do something a little bit more like dial it back, Dean, dial it back. I still stick with. I could go with the 908 in the dash instead of the 958. I could go with either the 1 series, the 1 8 to 10, or I could do a Blackbird at that point, which would be really nice. I could go with the Focal Flax 3-way set up front.
If you like the soft tweeter,
I would go with a set of the hybrids from Morel.
Yep.
I could also go, and then I would do the matching coaxial for the rear door.
For sure.
Now, I could dial that back even one more.
No. Why are we going down? No,
I'm just giving you options. I'm giving you options because that's probably a $10,000 system. So stick with the 908 in the dash.
Once, bro.
You only live 100%. Stick with the 908 in the dash. Go with the set of Kenwood 6903s in the front, 6x9 mid bass in the bottom of the door, 3.5-inch coaxial on the top of the dash. Go with the 901.5. Power that onto the dash speakers, the door speakers, and the subs that are going to go behind the seat. Use the 908 to power a set of 174s in the rear doors. Full Kenwood system. Do 212s behind the seat. There again, that's like a $5,500 system. So there's 3 amazing systems. You decide which one you want. Let me know when you want to do it. And of course, I'll be using iData for interfacing. Take my money, please. How long you been working together? Is it 10 years?
10, 11 years, yeah.
Something like, I don't know.
I started in 2013.
Oh, did you? Well, there you go. So it's been 11 years.
11 years, eh?
Yeah, so you remember that. I don't. It's just another day that ends in Y.
No.
Why am I here? Why am I doing this? Why did I hire this guy? Jesus Christ, you know.
I don't know.
Hey,
Yes.
so October, if any of you guys are going to be in Alabama, Birmingham to be specific, at the IASCA / whatever other organizations are going to be there, World Championship Audio
World
Contest,
Championship.
we're going to be there.
I'm going to compete. I'm going to take the Volkswagen Taos with coaxials, and I'm going to compete.
We're not going to be competing. I'm going to rent a van and we're going to drive up there. Either way, it's like October 12th and 13th, which is a Saturday and Sunday, in Birmingham, Alabama. The reason why we're going to drive, it's only 8.5 hours from here, and a flight actually takes 8.5 hours to fly there.
And it's like substantial.
Even though it's only an hour and a half flight from here to there, because there is one flight per day that is nonstop, but it doesn't work for us, which really sucks.
It doesn't.
And it's also, apparently it's cheaper to fly to Europe than it is to fly to Birmingham, Alabama. It's really weird, but we'll be driving, so that'll be fun. But that's coming up in October.
Jet, let me know.
Yeah, no shit, right? Did you mention AudioFrog for the Tundra option? I did not. Okay, so I did not enter that because
we don't.
Here are the AudioFrogs. So you have a monoblock 600 watt monoblock.
150.4.
4-channel right here, chilling out, looking all sexy. These were supposed to go into the G35 before it died and got wrecked. So they didn't make it in there. AudioFrogs is a great option for speakers that we actually have put in. The GB line of 6.5.
60, GB10, GB25.
There you go. It would be a great option. Amplifier wise though, I was going DSP easy, so that's why I was recommending the 830, the 8 to 10 1, or the
multi-channel amplifier.
And there again, you could swap out any of the speakers we recommended. I would recommend the 830 if we were going to do JB or do the AudioFrogs, GBs, the Gary Bells. Gary Biggs. Sorry,
Biggs.
Gary Biggs. My bad. It's why how, two audio guys with the same first name and the last letter is the same. Yeah. Gary Biggs, Gary Bell. Oh, so confusing. I mean, I have a hard enough time with Kenwood and Kicker. It's like, you know, and then you're like,
we're gonna be with Kenwood. It's with Kicker.
Yeah.
We're gonna be with Kicker. No, it's with Kenwood.
Yeah.
Sure.
Good times.
All right.
I think that's it. I think that's what we got.
Yeah.
Nothing too exciting. We literally this week has just been like, thank God it's almost over. That's all. That's it.
Don't forget tomorrow, guys. At 5 o'clock, we're gonna be answering more questions.
For sure. And also keep in mind, this is the last week you can take the discount on the IRTA2.
What's the promo code?
The promo code HOT, HOT. So if you've been kicking it around, thinking,
Fernando,
should I do
promo
it?
Code?
Yeah, should I buy it? Maybe next time. There is no next time. Next time will be this time next year. We're only doing one sale a year on that, and this is it. So if you're wanting to get it,
get one for Christmas and give it to someone.
Get it now,
save it.
because there will be no Christmas sale.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Get one for Christmas right now. Save it and.
Yeah. So, anyways,
Tell
that's what we got.
Yeah.
8 a.m. can play mid-range frequencies. Would you use them over conventional mid-range speakers or stick with traditional? I'm not a big fan of like middlers, and like the Morel tweeters can play down pretty low. Like they can play down to like 18, 12. Like, so it's really low. But it's still no replacement for just going with a tweeter in a mid-range. So there you go, guys. You guys have a wonderful day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
Hello. What are you doing?
Making the header card for tonight's show.
Okay. Why will you have to do that?
So that people know to come on the show tonight at 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Today's 24th.
Today is the 24th. What's going on, guys? What's up, Christian?
I used to do it Friday,
In the
Thursday
afternoon?
night. I used to do it Thursday night with the other.
For Saturday?
Yeah, I used to do them both at the same time.
Really?
Yeah, and then I was getting them wrong because I was too tired when I was doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, okay, I'm gonna stop doing that.
Yeah.
So now I just do them the day of the show. The news one I do Thursday night, but that's a whole process because you got to put a bunch of notes and crap in it.
Yeah.
So this one you just take care of right now.
Do you have that one that just copy and paste? Or no?
Actually, yes. Some of it, yeah. Because a lot of the information is
Almost the same, yeah.
Yeah. But I have to change the artwork, so I just have to change the date.
Hello from San Antonio, Texas. It's hot in Texas.
Oh, it's so hot in Texas.
Yes. What's in the bay today?
That's a good question.
That's a big car right here. It's you say Honda Civic?
No, that's a Civic. That's a Flex, right? A Fit. That's a Fit. It's a Fit.
Yeah, this car actually fits in here.
That's Fit.
So this is what we need in the showroom.
No,
No?
definitely not. We need the I'm still stuck on that car. I gotta find one without a motor.
Scion.
Yeah, it's
Scion TC. If you guys have a Scion TC with no motor in a good condition, and I'm talking about the interior, right?
I mean, we could probably put leather seats in it if we needed to.
So we just did this 650 Albine. It had a single D in Pioneer. The knob was not working at all, so it's kind of hard when you're trying to listen to some music or turn it up, turn it down, right? But yeah,
The worst part was whoever put the single DIN in broke the air conditioning controls and just siliconed them back together.
and what did they use?
Crappy. Oh, and a paper clip.
There you go.
They siliconed it because it was two pieces, so they broke the little snap And so the pieces went like this, and there was like a snap here, so the plastic could bridge it. Ooh, that's kind of neat. The bridge. And so they took and put a paper clip around it, and then silicone it in place so that it wouldn't do this.
I mean, kudos to them. They try.
Yeah, sure.
They fail,
Yeah.
but they try.
Yeah, I mean, hey, you know what? It worked until we took it apart. So.
Yes. So because in this one, you know, it has a Phillips screws in here, and then it has 2 more screws on the corner. Then you gotta remove the what are they called?
Conditioning control levers.
The levers. There you go. I just call the cables.
You could call them cables.
You know, the AC controls cables for this, and then, you know, pops out. And yeah, it was fun. No steering wheel controls. So this is just like how we call it basic.
Yeah, this is a basic. I mean, this was just these people got lucky because we were done with the car we had to do.
Yeah. I like the tweeter location. It's cool. You know.
I mean, why not?
Why not? So yeah, that's what we did. And we're just waiting.
So we got this is a self-powered it's called an active USB extension.
What will you use that for?
So that because Ken told us to. No, when we're doing a really long run, to make sure that the voltage throughout the cable is the same, this will take care of that.
Yeah.
And obviously when the laptop's sitting over here under the car, this will make sure that we don't have any voltage drop or any issues like that. So, which is really nice. Anyways, this is a USB 3. We had a nice USB 2 one. We actually had a brand new one that was just sitting in here, and I had to take it out because I needed it for the Accordia, for the Audison stuff we were doing. And we had a guy come in that we had to fix his system that somebody else did the install on and didn't tune it. And not saying names, but they ran the cable wrong.
Yeah.
They ran it over into the window, and so it cut the cable in half. So that kind of sucked because it was a brand new.
In my
kit.
defense, he closed the door.
Because I had to get into the car. So okay.
In my defense, I just put the cable. He closed the doors.
Yeah.
Technically,
Yeah, sure.
we both broke the cable.
Yeah, you loaded the gun, I pulled the trigger. All right, yeah, fine. So anyways, we had to get new ones, so now we have a replacement for it.
See, now you broke it. See?
These things get beat up, man. I like this brand.
Dean,
Yes.
thank you for having the gorgeous Marty Lou on the show.
Yes. She does enjoy coming on. She's not coming on today, though.
What's going on, guys? What's up?
So, sorry.
Yeah.
Not coming on today.
Did he do HDMI? No HDMI in this one. Yeah. So, but yeah, that's what we have today. He's making the show for 5?
Yeah, it's fine, Paul.
5 o'clock. Don't forget. So you can tune in. And he can answer all your questions.
And tonight, later tonight, way later tonight, we will be doing,
You
me
will be doing.
And Brian.
Brian who?
Brian Mitchell will be recording some more podcasts.
If you haven't listened to podcasts, where they can find it?
You can find it on iTunes. It's Car Stereo Talk with Brian and Dean, I think. Or it's either Brian and Dean or Dean Brian. Or if you find out, Brian Mitchell always puts up a link.
Link? Yeah.
It's on Podbeam is the hosting service that we use. But it's on iTunes. It's the easiest place to find it.
Yeah.
Or just follow the link. But no, we'll be recording some more of those tonight. Trying to delete some of these. Dude, we still got that one with Elias that we.
My Audison F 8.9 took a dump.
Audison F 8.9. Okay.
Yes. New Forza or Arc Blackbird.
If you understand how the Forza software works, like you've already engaged in that and you get it. The new Forza software is 100 times better. 100 times better. So because you kind of have an idea of how that ecosystem already kind of plays together, I would make the argument to stick with the Forza. Now, with that being said, my personal take on it is I like the DNA software a lot. So I'm going to, like, if you came in here and you weren't going to screw with it, I would sell you the Blackbird, because it's very similar in size. Not that, well, they're all similar in size. I would sell you the Blackbird. That would be the one I would sell you. But if you're doing it yourself, and like I said, you've already kind of gone down the path, I would download the new Forza software, take a look at it, see how it all plays out in your head, and if it's like, oh, I know where all this stuff is at, I know how this works, then just go with that. They're both excellent products. It's just a matter of which one is easier for you to use.
There you go.
Yeah, for sure.
Did you put this watermark like Saturday?
What are you talking about?
Do you see this? It says Saturday in the bottom.
Nope.
Wow. Oh, you cannot take it out.
Well, yeah, you probably can. Hold on. So it's probably one of these.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's probably, there you go. It's gone.
What was it?
I have no idea. I just changed. See now, look how we look kind of red.
Yeah.
So it was just one of these.
Oh, a filter.
It was a filter. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, you probably hit one of these buttons.
No, I didn't
not
hit
that.
nothing.
Cancel. I mean, you probably did.
No.
Yeah.
No.
See, look, happy face. See, no filter.
Okay.
You can go to that. Ooh, 4K. Ooh, we're 4K in it. One of these is gonna make us on fire. Ooh, let's put some bubbles up. Hey, look, now we're on a swimming.
Oh, that is nice.
Yeah, you like that?
No.
No, I don't either. I hate all these stupid things. Okay,
Perfect.
there you go. There you go, Fernando.
All right, thank you so much.
Well, thank you, buddy.
So, and then,
Fernando show.
all right, so let's answer more questions.
Do we have to? We're gonna be doing that tonight.
Yes, we're going to. I'm pretty sure one of my door speakers blew.
Oh,
I can only hear.
Seems to be a common thing this week.
I can only hear it once in a while. Yeah, it happens. When sometimes the speaker,
So there's a bunch of different ways that a speaker can start to fail. Let's not call them blow, because technically it doesn't blow, it fails. And so how can a speaker fail and still play?
Once in a while, correct.
There's a bunch of most of the time what you have is a split somewhere in the voice coil. If you hit a bump, there's still power coming into it, so the electromagnetic is still there. So it might short, you hit a bump, connects the two leads, it'll start playing again. It could also be, let's say, a magnet on the back is falling off. You see that a lot in factory speakers, is that they epoxy the metal magnet onto the plastic basket, and the magnet will start to heat and move. And so, there again, when you hit a bump, puts it back in the gap, and it'll start to play. You could also have a tinsel lead that's corroded. And when that bumps, it jumps outside of the corrosion and it starts playing. So there's a bunch of things that can cause a speaker to start playing again.
So what would you do first to check?
I would make sure that my signal coming into the door is proper, because we've seen also that in some of the vehicles the wire coming into it could be corroded, so the factory wire could be bad. That sucks. Like that's a failure.
Will you continue with the debate from Friday News tonight about salespeople and installer roles?
If somebody asks the question, of course. I mean, because unlike the news show, so the news show we give you our thoughts on. You're using my phone.
Yeah.
That's kind of stupid on my part. I was going to show everyone what loudness looks like.
Yeah. No, but like if
somebody asks
yes,
about it, then yes, okay.
We're gonna
the phone. Yeah, why not? I mean, any topic is open for discussion. So,
yeah.
I mean, I feel passionately about it. So,
yeah.
What is it? Oh, Educar.
It's right there in the first page.
I just searched for it. So we got some cool stuff set up here.
What makes the ARC PSM Pro cheaper than the full-size ARC Audio DSP 8 channel?
That's easy. So it still uses the same. So like it still has the same chip, right? So it doesn't have the same chip. It still has
As the
same
PSM Pro?
It has the same software. It has a different chip. But when you're looking at the PSM Pro, as you can see, it's very tiny. All right. So it's very small. This is plastic. Okay. These are wired connectors. So there's all these plugs here that just plug in. Much smaller PCB.
Yeah, so this is how small it is.
Tape, yeah. So what you're looking at is the form factor. Plus, this is a 6 to 8, not an 8 to 8. So really, that's what you're looking at. Is that this is made using parts that are not as robust as the 8. So that's just a.
All right. Question.
Yeah.
On my Pioneer AVH 4100 NEX. Wow.
Yeah, 4100.
4100. CarPlay, are the map voice really not controllable?
Are the what?
The CarPlay voice.
Yeah.
I'm guessing like, turn by turn.
You have to turn it up while it's talking.
There you go.
It's active, so you have to turn it up while there's actually conversation going on. Here, take a look at this. So you guys always ask about loudness and how it works and whatnot, and what we're looking at here is just a standard signal coming out of a radio. So bass is...
Radio.
This is radio. Not important. Bass is on the right, treble is on the left. This would be what you're looking at coming out of a factory radio. And if you'll notice this high point here, this would be your loudest point of subwoofer, this would be your loudest point of treble, and this would be your loudest point of mid. And as we turn the volume up, so we're turning the volume up, watch the screen. If you keep watching the screen, what you're gonna start to see is these distance between these points here are all gonna start to level out. So as we keep turning, we keep turning, we keep turning, as you know, see how it just keeps leveling out. Now pay no attention to the dip, those are equalizer points. But now at full volume, the treble is still kind of high, but you can almost put a ruler on there as far as how level the output is. So we'll go all the way back down really quick. And you can see that shift. So you saw all that movement. So see this big point here, and this high point here, and how low the mid-range is. So this is what loudness does. Now another thing that's happening in this particular situation is we have some form of a high-pass filter or a high shelf here. So that's removing, this is a low shelf. So a low shelf or a crossover that is removing some of this would be a crossover, but a shelf would work too. A shelf would fix this, but this is removing some of the bass, because it's not coming back as we turn the volume up. So we're still having this issue here. So that's telling us that there's some form of a crossover happening. This would not be a crossover. However, you could fix it with a high shelf. This is more than likely equalization, because it is increasing as we turn the volume up. But now the purpose for me showing you this is you're going to learn what in the next week we're going to talk more about this and how a key lock can handle this, and how an LC7i Pro can handle this, and what is going to be best for your situation.
So
trying to do.
Its loudness same as the Audison bass boost feature?
No.
In the Audison Prima?
No. So loudness is a mathematical equation that has to do with output voltage, meaning how loud am I playing it, and equalization. So the real term for it is dynamic EQ, meaning that as you're doing something, it's also having a reaction. So whereas if you just have bass boost, all right, bass boost is an equalization, whether you're adjusting the EQ, sometimes parametric, and what it's going to do is it's going to stay with you the whole time. So if I go into this radio and I put 6 dBs worth of bass on it, which I might be able to do. Hold on, let's get into the menu here. Let's go to the audio. Oh, let's go back and let's go. Oh, there it was. Oh, hang on. I hate not using a screen. So we'll go to audio control, sound effects, and where's it at? Oh, I went too far. Okay. Audio control, and we'll go to menu, EQ settings.
Right there.
There it is.
Sound effect. No.
Bass boost. So we'll go to bass boost. It's off. So look at the screen here.
Turn it down.
So this is off.
It's off.
So now I'm gonna give it one. It's every time I turn that dial, I'm gonna go and give it. I'm gonna take it up. Okay. So now we see this bass boost here. So if we go back to it off.
Hang on.
So that's off.
Go one.
And we're not gonna go one. So now what happens is as I come in and I turn the volume up, the loudness is gonna happen, but you're gonna see how that bass is still there.
Yeah.
It's not as dramatic. Wow, their bass boost rolls off. All right, hold on. All right, so hold that thought. That wasn't good. So now we know what that does. All right, so audio control.
Audio control.
Bass boost. Let's turn this feature off. And let's go back into EQ. EQ Pro. Come into there. All right, let's turn that up. So that gives us. All right, so now get out of here. So if I turn that up, yeah, we're seeing that peak still.
Yeah.
But it's definitely rolling off some of that bass. But what we need is an amps bass boost to really do this to where it looks cool. But anyways, the bass boost should track. You know, I know what I could do. Hold on. Let's go into
EQ.
Let's go into audio control, and let's just shut off the loudness. There. I have no loudness. Look at the signal now without loudness.
What is that?
That's like crazy. All right, so there's the signal. Wow, man, that is terrible. So the loudness has removed any of this action that was here. It's removed any of the high frequency boost. So now when we turn it up, it doesn't do anything. It just looks like total crap. Wow. I think I'm gonna keep the loudness on. But anyways. Now, if you would like to be playing around at your house doing cool stuff like this and trying to figure out how things actually work, we're doing this with the IRTA2. That's what's playing this. So your IRTA2, we're just looking at the output of the radio. This is how we make these scenarios for you guys to take a look at. How fun is that? If you're interested in getting one of these this week, it's last week, it's ending this week. That's going to be head over to DNF Tool Drawer and type in the word hot.
Hot.
Hot. Hot it is.
That's the code. So you can get some money off.
$25.
$25?
Yeah.
Wow.
Crazy.
That's crazy, dude.
Let's put this away. So it is 4 o'clock. Right,
Yeah,
so
that's 4 o'clock. Let's see. I have another one over here.
Okay.
Have you ever got burnt out of car audio
Yes.
and wanted to do something else? If you're that, what do you consider to do? Like get out of car audio.
If I was to get out of car audio, I would want to do something in marketing.
Marketing?
Yeah. I like products. I like stuff like that.
Yeah, but like you with marketing in car audio, or you would do?
In general.
It doesn't matter what.
No, I don't care.
You know.
I care less, man.
Yeah.
You know, just something different. You know, it'd probably be more fun to do something outside of car audio. Obviously, I could do it in car audio, which would be fine, but
Yeah.
I think something, you know, I don't know. I mean, that's just one of the things. I've been doing this my whole life at this point, longer than I've not been doing it.
Not
you
the
know?
whole life.
No, technically. So you have.
When you start working in car audio?
So you have to look at how old you are. Okay.
I'm 20.
Understand? Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then you have to go. All right, from 0 to when I started. So from birth to when you started.
Yep.
And then from when you started to where you are now.
Yeah.
And then that's how you decide the majority of your life you've been doing this. So I've been doing this 30 some odd years.
Yeah.
So I started when I was in my 19, 20 years old. So I've been doing this majority of my whole working life is in car audio.
Yeah.
So that's how you would say that.
Yeah.
Did I have, you know, I did have jobs before this, but not like Brian.
Not like Brian. Angel is burnt out every day.
Yeah, no, it's easy to do. I mean, it gets tiring. I mean, there's no question about it.
And he wants to become a stripper.
And be called Buck Naked. My name is Buck. Buck Naked.
Okay. I mean, he has the body for it. Yeah.
Does he?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if he has the dance moves.
Yeah, he might. I mean, he's Latino, so.
Huh? Puerto Rico.
But yeah, I mean, trust me, doing something this long, as a lot of you guys that have been doing jobs for a long time, it does get tedious at times to where it's just you get tired of doing the same old crap and hearing the same old problems.
Yes, yeah.
You know, it can be mind numbing for sure.
It is.
You know, luckily for us, we do get the breaks. You know, we get to go off and go to Knowledge Fest.
Experience different things, yeah, for sure.
You know, and kind of, and doing this helps us out a lot too. Having the production company, we get to have a lot of fun working with manufacturers and creating content for those. So that's enjoyable. But still, doing this every day is like it's not as glorious as everyone would think.
Now, what are you missing out?
What?
What are you missing out to be at the same it was before?
What do you mean?
Like, for example, like you used to come here to the install, not here, but in the install bay, and they're like, dude, man, let's rock on. You know, like.
Oh, what?
What is the things that they make you burn out?
Well, I think it's like anything that you do over and over again, like marriage, you know? You're married for 20 years, and some people can take that and be like, I'm just as happy now as I was 20 years ago. And that's fantastic. Like, if you can fool yourself into thinking that, like...
Eduardo, what's up, buddy?
You know, I don't know. I don't
customers?
No, customers have always been the same. I mean, they have wants and desires. Some are good, some are bad. Like that's it. This is what we keep the IRTA in.
Yeah.
Go to the cheap tool store, get yourself a little box. No, it's not that. I mean, listen, with anything, some days are better than other days, right? Some cars are more fun to work on than others.
Yeah. So for Steve,
we do car audio.
So for Steve, it's like cheap customers burn me out.
Yeah.
Fixing bad works, you know, burns me out.
Yeah, that stereo, Steve? Just Steve.
That's no, just Steve.
I was gonna say, you never know what's stereo.
Yeah.
No, 100%. I mean, it's the customers can definitely fatigue the shit out of you, because it's like the same stupid questions, and they're not stupid to them. They're just, and you know, just like everyone is somebody's stupid person at some point in your life. You know, not everyone, like nobody's technically stupid. It's just a matter of, well, yeah, there are some people that are really stupid, but you know, it's just a matter of finding a way to deal with the same question asked 50 different ways, and then giving the answer and being ignored. You know, when someone comes to you as an expert and says, "Hey, how do you do this?" and you go, "You have to do it like this," and they go, "Oh, that's yeah." You're like, "Well, why did you ask?"
Yeah, that's one of the things that bothers me.
Yes.
When they asking you like, "Hey, okay, what would you do?" and then you tell them what would you do, and then they're like, "Well, yeah, but I really want this," and it's like, okay, well,
I subvert,
what are you asking?
I subvert your reality and replace it with mine.
Yeah,
And it's like,
yeah.
Stop wasting my time.
Right. What is the most disappointing thing to you in car audio lately, product wise?
Ooh,
That's a good one.
yeah, that's a good one because that's. Oh man. So, all right. So as someone who's trying, listen. I can be a very negative person, and I get paid to be a very negative. Well, no, I get paid to be a negative person. People ask me to because they know I'm gonna not lie to them.
I don't think you are a negative person. You are
negative because they don't want to hear it.
Well, the reality,
Yes,
right? It's just like this is the honest answer that you give them.
Yeah, I'm very practical when it comes to that. But we get paid to do that.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
Some of the disappointments, my disappointments are going to be different than other people's disappointments because we see it like we're on this side of the fence. People on that side of the fence.
That side.
Yeah. So, like, things that really disappoint me are there again. It's almost the same as a customer. When a manufacturer comes and asks us a question, only to know that it doesn't matter what the answer is because
it's already made.
They've already done it, and so we've had to learn over the years to ask the other questions, like, "What are you asking for?"
Yeah.
We had a manufacturer came to us and was like, "Dude, what do you think?" We're like, "We told you 2 years ago what we thought, and you didn't do anything 2 years ago, so
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter now."
Yes.
They're like, "Well, yeah, but we went ahead with our idea." I said, "Understandable," and you had the results that we knew you were going to have. Not that we're prophets and we can pontificate the answer. We have experience, and we knew that this was going to happen. Here.
Okay. Yeah.
Back.
Yeah.
Back. So, I mean, all the nonsense, what really disappointed me is the lack of innovation that we're having right now in this car audio genre. I feel that a lot
But when you say the lack of innovation, why?
Exactly that. Well, because so when things are new and things are exciting, back in the day, in the 80s and 90s, there was a lot of leap forwards in car audio.
Okay.
Like there was big moments. Class D amplifiers didn't exist.
Yeah.
They exist now.
Yeah.
Micro amplifiers didn't exist. They exist now. DSP wasn't something that everything had. It is now. Neodymium tweeters were an oddity. Everything had big magnets on it, like the loudspeakers that exist now. Packaging, like you'd buy a mid-range, you'd buy a tweeter, kind of like loudspeaker. Loudspeaker's almost like a throwback to the 80s.
Okay.
80s. Packaging things together like that, believe it or not, is new. The 4-channel amplifier in its current iteration, believe it or not, is a new thing, relatively speaking, because your punch 45, your punch 75, your punch 150, 225, 222, 225, all these were 2-channel amplifiers.
Yeah.
So making these multi-channel amplifiers is a fairly new thing, but we haven't really done a lot of we've done a lot of back-end stuff that people as consumers don't get to see. So like DSP. There's so many cool things you can do with DSP, but the reality is it's not exciting for a lot of people because they never get to touch it. So the new touchy-feely thing is just non-existent, We used to sell new radios every year. But now the car manufacturers caught up, and the companies making radios really haven't moved past it to like they're settling on like, we're going to keep making a double din. It's like, no, it's stupid.
So the lack of innovation. Okay.
Like we still here we are down the road with DSP. Like I just showed you a PSM Pro that's like this big. Okay, we know how much room we have inside of a radio. You're trying to tell me we can't take a radio and something like a PSM Pro and merge them together so that we have a 6.5 inch, 8 inch, 7, whatever, touchscreen in a dash that has 8-channel preamp output that gives us the ability to do front, rear, center, sub, all this nonsense, 9 channels of RC output. That's ridiculous. The fact that these guys aren't doing that drives me mad.
Wow.
It's like, it's the softball.
How many are you going to sell?
That's the answer.
How many are you going to sell? Tell me.
Yeah, exactly. All of them. We're going to sell every one of them that you can make.
Yeah. No, I feel for me it's been... I look how I start car audio, right? And I look now how I am.
Yeah.
And I think the innovation is amazing. Like, how is everything,
Right.
Move forward to all DSPs. It used to be just a 4-channel and move the dials, and I think I have the crossover exactly what I wanted.
Definitely
And
cooler stuff.
now we have the ability to tune totally different, right? Yes, having the hands tied about products that we want, but they don't wanna give it to you is hard for sure. But
something as simple as that, like my desire to have a amplifier that has a center channel built into it.
that will be good.
It's amazing. I'll never
If they give you, manufacturers, they give you the ability to build your own amplifier, right? Like
money, I could do
pieces,
that.
huh?
I could do that.
No.
Oh, like for example, like when you're building the
Like
DSP.
when you're building a DSP for like Brax.
Yes, the Brax
right?
DSP. Where you plug
Exactly.
it
So just pick what you want. Like for example, you need 9 channels.
Yes.
All right. Just pick your board that has 9 channels.
See, that would be something they would have done back in like the 90s and 2000s.
Yes.
That would have been something they would have done back there, because back then they weren't afraid to take chances, because everyone was making tons of money, and it was okay. Like, we could try something like that. Hell, they probably did something like that back then, and now they won't do it. Because we did that 20 years ago and it didn't work, and it's like, oh, okay.
Like sell everything a la carte.
Yeah.
And build your own amplifier.
Trying to get a speaker manufacturer to do stuff a la carte.
Yeah.
Like,
it's hard.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I blame the end user.
Yeah.
Because they want it, they just don't know. And, just like the guy our Macintosh guy, he went out and bought a set of loudspeakers to put in the back of his Tahoe.
Yeah.
And I was like, what are you doing? And he's like, yeah, I was thinking about doing this. I'm like, you literally spent an hour telling me how you're a 2-channel guy. And like, you sit in your room and listen to it and read and sip coffee, and you want to put a bunch of speakers behind your head?
Yeah.
Like, dude, this isn't a 1972.
Yeah. No, and I get that the Brax DSP is 7K, 100%.
No,
it's just the components.
We're talking about the concept.
Yes, the concept of let me build a 4-channel or a 5th channel or a 7-channel, 9-channel.
Essentially, what you could say is like when you're building a circuit breaker for a house.
Correct.
You have micro, let's say 30-watt amplifiers that you're just that can be bridged, that can be stereo, and you're just clipping them in.
Yeah.
Building a totally doable. I think Andy did that with his 20-channel amplifier that he made.
Right, 24 channels, something like that. Yeah,
I think he just built it like that. So yeah, that would be cool. That'd be cool. But, we could brainstorm about all this stuff at the end of the day. But so here's where the discouraging thing comes out. As soon as you take it to the engineer, you think I'm negative. Jesus, those guys are the worst, man. I love them to death, but they're always. Most of them. Some of them are.
Okay, we just dreaming over here, okay, guys? So let's just dream it. Does the Brax really needs to be 7K?
Yes.
100%.
So think of it like this. So a Brax DSP is all hand-picked parts. And what I mean by that is when you
somebody came and pick it and say, build it.
It's made with a lot of the same parts as the Ultra.
Yeah.
But when a parts box comes in, there's a plus or minus on every part, okay? A value of acceptability. Every piece that goes into the Brax DSP is hand-picked as the best parts out of the bin. So you get 100 parts and there might be only 2 parts that can go into the Brax DSP.
Yeah.
Okay? And
selection. It's just,
So, it's... Okay, value... The other thing, too, is you got to remember, is value is you, okay? You put a value on something.
100%.
If you think something is worth it, you're going to buy it. If you think it's not worth it, then you're not going to buy it. Mm-hmm. But the problem is that as society, we always discount... Like, we put our bias on something. So if I wear these stupid shoes. These stupid shoes cost X amount of money.
Nah.
Yeah. And, there's a value that they have in my brain that I'm willing to pay for them. Mm-hmm. Just like somebody that wears Jordans. There's a value in their brain.
$200.
Yeah. There's a value in their brain of what they'll pay for something. Now, you pay $350 for a set of Jordans, and I pay $200 a set for these. I go to the $350 Jordans, and I say, bro, that's insanity. And you look at me and say, you're paying $200 for those? And that's insanity. So it's all what we put value in.
100%.
When you look at a $7,000 DSP, it sells. They sell every one they can make. They're also made to order. But there's a backlog, so they only make X amount of these a year, and they sell every single one that they make, kind of like a Thesis Vente.
NT. Yeah.
Gorgeous amplifiers, $11,000. All right, how many of those are you gonna sell? All of them.
Yeah.
Because there's somebody that'll buy them. If you in your head can write that off as a good investment, you're gonna do it.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at that and say that was not a worthwhile investment, then that's crazy. I'm gonna tell everyone, oh my God, I can't believe somebody would buy one of those. It's $11,000.
Yeah.
That must be nuts. It's like, no, dude, it's just not you. It's not for you. But and just because you don't want to buy it, you don't have to tell everyone that they don't want to. You know, the world doesn't need to know that you're cheap.
Can you guys get a Wi-Fi signal booster? Do you think it will help?
No. So we use Spectrum, is the Wi-Fi provider that we use, and the Wi-Fi is actually fantastic. The line out to Spectrum, this is a business line, and they bandwidth the hell out of us on it and charge us a fortune. So that kind of sucks.
I mean, if you guys want to, just send a bill. Yeah. All right. Well,
But yeah, that's it. What time is it?
That's
all right,
time.
4:15. Hey, we're gonna end it there, guys, because we got to start setting up for the show. Don't forget, tune in. Anything we need to tell? Oh, I know. Here, hold on. Let me put on my best Fernando. Is that about the right?
Right there. Yes.
Hey guys. Hola. Today we're gonna talk about morale. If you want. Okay, I can't do that.
Come on, you just gotta do it.
No, I did the vagina crusher at the gym, so my inner thighs are killing me.
The vagina crusher?
Yeah, that's what it is. It's just vagina crusher. So when you do this and then you do that, Haley likes to torture me like that because I always go hard on the vagina crusher. Okay. Hey, if you're looking for an amazing speaker that sounds so silky smooth because the tweeters are made of silk, what are the odds? You want to head over to moralehifi.com. That's right, moralehifi.com is where you can find some of the you can find my favorite speakers. That's right. I've been listening to them every day, every single day. I go home and listen to my Morale speakers and sit back and smile because it's just a beautiful thing. If you'd like to have a beautiful thing in your car, head over to moralehifi.com. You can find them here on Instagram at
moralehifi.com and morale_America.
That's all you gotta say. I got the high five back. Anyways, check them out. They're a proud sponsor of 5 Minutes with 5 Star. Thank you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for sticking around and doing the thing. We'll see you guys at 5.
Bye.
At 5.